Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to create a graphical minimap in Minecraft. I got a lot of good responses on Reddit, and a bunch of people asking for a tutorial video. So here you go. Quick disclaimer though, I don't really make YouTube videos, so just bear with me on this. It might be a little rough. Okay, so I'll start off by showing the feature. And then show a quick tutorial on how it works. Alright, so yeah, here's the feature. When a player is walking around and has an empty map in their hand, they can drop it to access the mini map, like so. Once they're here, they're put into creative mode, and they can see the whole map, which has panning, zooming in and out, and also fast traveling, like so. So yeah. The way this all works is the scoreboard in Minecraft tracks when a user drops a map, and when the user has dropped one map, it teleports them into the mini-map layout, and once they're here, they drop the map again to show where they want to be teleported to. So like this, and now you're back in where we just started. So yeah. And that's the feature. This can support any number of fast traveling points. It can support multiple players in the map. And yeah, I think this would be a really good feature for adventure map creators as well as server owners. But to have it on a server, you can just set that up with a plugin. So that'd be a very different implementation. But for this tutorial, we'll be sticking to the vanilla Minecraft solution. So let's get started on how to create this. Step one to creating this minimap is we're going to actually have to build the minimap room. So in this demonstration, I'm only going to be using 4 maps right here. But yeah, this will work on any size. So step one is you're going to want to set a glowstone base to illuminate the map because it's going to be put into a closed room, and this will keep nice even lighting on all of the maps. So once you place your glowstone base, you're going to put item frames on the ground and then fill in the maps with where you want to display. There we go. All right, so once you've created the mini map base, you're going to want to build up the walls. So once you've built the walls however high you want, now you're going to want to go into the minimap and find the exact coordinates of where you want the player to be teleported to once they access the map. So for me, it's going to be 1475, 65, and 2369. All right, so those are the coordinates. We're going to want to save those for later. And yeah, that's all you need to do for building the minimap. Of course, the walls can be however high you want. That is just going to be used for setting how much the player can zoom out. As you see here, yeah, you zoom out. The more you zoom out, the smaller it looks. And yeah, the higher you're going to want it for the bigger map you want to have. But for something this small, we don't need the walls to be all that high. So we're going to go and seal this up. And now we're going to go and take a look at the data pack. All right, so here's the data pack. It's pretty simple, only has 3 files. This one being the biggest with 9 commands. This one only has 2, and this one is 3. So we'll go through all 3 and what they do and how to implement them. So the go to map function is sort of the main one. This function is going to run constantly, checking to see if the user has dropped a map. And once it has been dropped, the scoreboard will update with the score. The score map will be set to 1. In this data pack, I don't have it explicitly set up for how that score will be set. So you can use any kind of scoreboard function that you like or any other trigger. Yeah, you can set that up however you like. So Once you're here, though, this first command is what teleports the player to the minimap location. So what you're going to want to do is take those coordinates that you previously saved. You're going to want to copy them into this first function, like so. You're going to want to leave the 180, 180 because that sets the player's rotation and also has them face north. This way, the map is displayed in the correct orientation, as well as having the player look directly at the map, which is another big part of creating the illusion that you're looking at a mini-map. So the second command just places a map back into the player's inventory so they can drop it again once they're in the mini-map. The third function sets their game mode to creative. The user has to use a fly to get the zoom in and zoom out functionality, so that's why we use creative mode here. The next command sets the score of the map for the player to 2. This is because this function is going to run in an infinite loop, so we don't want these first 4 functions running over and over, because we only want them to run once per map drop. So yeah, set it to 2 here. Next, this is calling the function warps. This is what's going to be checking to see if where to teleport the user after they've dropped the map for a second time, saying their score to 3. So once the map score is set to 3, we run this function, which then goes here, and this is where you're going to set your warps. So the way this works is you're going to take a function, or you're going to take the function where you look for players in certain bounding boxes. This first one is if the player is within this X coordinates and this Z coordinates, then we teleport them to this location. And same for this down here. So you're going to want to customize these warps. You can add or remove however many you want. But yeah, it will work on an indefinite amount. And you can teleport players to wherever you want in the location. So after that, we're going to, after this runs, the player has just been teleported to the place they want to be. So we're going to want to set their game mode back to survival. Give them back the map again. And then we were going to run kill on all the items to clean up those dropped maps the player has just dropped. This function, I'm not entirely sure if this is the best way to write it. I'm not sure if there's a way to kill only map drops, which would be better, because if a player drops an item and then drops a map, all those items are getting deleted, which may not be the best for players in an adventure map. But yeah, I'm not aware of how to do this in just vanilla Minecraft commands. I'm more of a Denizen script builder. So yeah, I'm still a bit novice when it comes to some of this stuff. So yeah, if there's a better way to do this, please let me know. And then the last function, we're going to reset the player's map score back to 0, resetting this all so the player can then access the mini-map again, just like they did the first time. The last function here is save location. This one is also going to run infinitely. Basically, it's just going to save the player's X, Y, and Z coordinates to the scoreboard when they are currently in the mini-map. That's when the map's set to 2. When they're moving around, we want to save their scores, and that's what the warps function uses here with the, as you see, player X and player Z functions. So yeah, that's just being saved here. So now we'll go back into Minecraft and show you how to set this up with the command blocks to make sure everything runs smoothly. Alright, so now we're back in Minecraft. Now we're going to place a command block somewhere that's basically just going to be running the function go to map. So this one's always going to be running, and yeah, just repeat itself. So this is what uses this is what's running that function that we discussed earlier. So whenever the player drops a map, they'll be teleported into this mini map. And lastly, we're going to want to set a second command block that runs save location. Now, I use 2 command blocks because you're going to want this wherever the player is, because currently there's no way to run a function recursively, where a function runs and then calls itself at the end of the function, because if you try to set that up, it will just crash your Minecraft. In Minecraft 1.14, where we have the schedule command, however, we'll be able to remove these command blocks entirely from it and just have them run an infinite loop with just the schedule command. But for 1.13, we're still going to have a couple command blocks. So once we have those set up, everything is now complete and the whole system should be working. I'm going to go back in survival mode and show you how it works. There you go. There's your mini map. I don't have any warp set up in here at the moment. So yeah, this isn't going to work for me quite right, but yeah. Once you set the warps, you'll see it working just fine.